ChatGPT for blogging is what we're going to talk about today. Can ChatGPT for blogging actually rank blog posts for your company? And is it cheaper / better than writing human-based content or human-generated content for a blog to generate traffic to your site organically? This is specifically what I'm going to cover in today's video. In short, as you already see the title of this video, that it does actually work extremely well to use ChatGPT to create blog content and then rank that blog content and to get traffic that'll actually convert into sales as well, regardless if you're selling products or services and regardless of what you're selling. You just got to know the magic technique behind doing it, and I'm going to give you the strategy that I'm not just saying could work, but actually does work for a company that I actively am part owners in and starting to roll out for several other companies at this particular stage that I'm also involved in. If you want to know the actual company that we're using it, reach out to me at my firm. I'm not going to out my own companies here, but I will give you a direct example of where we're ranking blog posts with ChatGPT content internet by itself. But I'm going to give you the actual formula that we're using here to rank those blog posts and bring in free extra traffic simply just by using ChatGPT. And it's not complicated at all. These are not complicated concepts, but of course you got to know the base information to be able to exploit it right. So with that said, there's a lot of controversy surrounding whether or not AI generated content can actually rank, okay? This has been the golden question around ChatGPT and SEO since ChatGPT came out. What I'm telling you here is it absolutely can rank. Here's the reality. I always bring this concept up on my videos. This channel is primarily about ads, running online ads. But when we're talking about Google simply just wants to provide the best experience possible for their users of Google so that people want to come back to Google in the future and hopefully click on ads versus your organic listings. As it comes to organic, specifically on that, Google, at the end of the day, doesn't care if a dog turd on your site it was there, as long as that dog turd, pleased people when they went to go view it. They just want to give the user what they want. Whether or not your content was generated by AI or not is totally irrelevant to that end goal. They may say publicly that AI generated content is not allowed, which they do obviously, or if you don't know, they do that. But that's only simply to serve Google's interests and furthermore their users' interests, because if they came out and said AI content's fine, then people would just go to town using it, of which 90% of people who would not do it, they would do it half-assed, which would mean Google would have a hard time weeding out the half-assed content so that users wouldn't find it and start obviously not wanting to use Google in that case. So AI content's fine as long as the content serves users' needs and can help the user not just well, but better than the competition for the keywords that you're ultimately trying to rank for. You can do better click-through rate-wise, conversion rate-wise on the blog posts that you get ranked. And for the stuff that's ranked for the keywords you're trying to rank your blog post right now for, Google will want to keep that rank regardless if it was AI generated content or not. In fact, they just straight up don't care. Will it provide a better experience for their users for that keyword? And if it will, they want to keep pushing it higher and higher in the ranks until it's literally #1. And if not, they want it to drop off that page. Drop off the rankings completely. So, the real question is, can we use ChatGPT to create an article on a blog that will actually outcompete the other stuff that ranks for the keywords we want to rank for. Because if you do that, it'll rank. ChatGPT will write an article not well, but okay, we'll just say, enough where on non or lesser competitive terms, we found it's good enough. So therefore it will rank. You can rank that AI generated content, that ChatGPT related content, produced content on a blog. So it will work. It works better for less competitive terms / niches. However, even in competitive niches, the most competitive niches that you might be in, it will still work if you are willing to go down the trough a little ways and go after keywords that are not so competitive. If you're doing personal injury law in Los Angeles, where there's tens of millions of dollars at stake there, ranking, ChatGPT content isn't going to cut the mustard. However, if you go after terms like how to not hire a personal injury lawyer and get ripped off, a term that for the most part isn't a money term, and that people that are investing in SEO in that niche are not necessarily going after, you would be the only one going after SEO-wise for that term and to rank for that term. You can get ChatGPT to pay off for your company and to rank because there's no competition essentially for that term. And in that case, you can, obviously if that traffic, if you got 1 million visits a month from that term, it would be worth it. You would take it, right? So the question is, well, basically, that traffic's good as long as it's free and we can get a certain amount of it. How do we monetize that traffic? And you just monetize it the way that you would monetize running ads for somebody searching that way. You have content on the page, and I'm not talking about the blog content, but in addition to the blog content, how can we have a lead magnet on that page that offers something that's for that user that really is handwritten and well, and we use the ChatGPT content to just get the person on the page. This is how you use ChatGPT and blogging together to make money. The same thing goes for the money terms though. If the money terms in your space aren't as not competitive enough, if you will, at least some of them that are more long tail, as they call it, or have multiple words in there, that like 4 or 5 word terms, you could also do the same thing. You use the ChatGPT content to get people to the page, but what you really do on that page is try to get them to go to another page on your site with a product or service listed on it that you want to ultimately have them interested in. So you can think of it like a funnel. You use ChatGPT to create traffic to your blog. The blog then generates traffic to your money pages. I don't do if they still call them money pages, but back in the day that's what we call them, money pages. Or download. So it's not the blog itself that makes money, obviously. It's how do we drive enough traffic at this blog, which is littered with call to actions on there, to get a trickle of it going to our money page. And that's how you make money with blogging and ChatGPT. Of course, there's something to be said that if you rank a bunch of blog posts high and they get good enough metrics in terms of the time on site, conversion rate of the people that get to your site that turn into a lead and all that, and so therefore Google wants to keep it ranked, you'll actually get pages that are not on your blog to rank higher because your site now has more authority, because it has more traffic in your niche overall going to it, more people bookmarking the site and so forth. So indirectly it's an SEO strategy for your pages that you do care about, but there's an even big, I'll tell you from experience, it's an even bigger opportunity using the blog post itself that ranks to drive traffic to your money pages. Because it's so easy to rank for these pages. You could churn out like 1 blog post a day and just keep doing it because ChatGPT makes it so easy. It can take you literally 15 minutes to post a blog post. You could easily automate this if you wanted to, and that blog post, once it's ranked, because nobody else is targeting that term, it'll bring a trickle of traffic in. And then the more of them you get, the more trickles of traffic you have coming into your site. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to tell you about the exact system we're using here. But that's the basic premise of it. So I will tell you up front though, just starting a website and trying to use this method to gain customers for your business, you're in for a struggle. There's a lot of people think that because ads are expensive, that they can't start a business with no or little money starting out running ads. And it's really dumb, I'll just say, because the amount of time and effort it's going to take to try to rank your site organically with no pre-existing traffic coming to the site from any kind of paid ads is going to make it extremely hard. To the point where it's literally easier to just get the ads working first and then use the ads and the traffic and everything you're getting from the ads to make SEO work later on. And if you don't have money, it's easier to just go out and get a damn job and save some money for some ad spend and then use that to get the ads going, because Google gives the traffic essentially to people who don't need it. Whoever's the biggest, most authoritative site in the space gets most of the organic rankings. And once you have some authority with Google, this blogging strategy with ChatGPT works extremely well, because you already got the domain authority, as they call it. And they don't want to rank pages from sites that might be fly-by-night operations that give their users a bad experience from the product that they buy, from the service that they buy. So they give it to who they think they can trust, the brands, if you will, the brand. So you can try to go, you're going to go through the long slog of trying to build traffic, only free traffic to your site, or you could just go after the low-hanging fruit, Google ads that will work for your company and your market, and then use that foothold to get ChatGPT blogging to work for you and have some icing on the cake. So it's not a be-all, end-all strategy to do business. Anybody can get Google ads to work if they just have higher click-through rates and higher conversion rates to their competition in their space. And that all simply comes from understanding how to write an ad and make a landing page or a site or whatever. This channel is dedicated to that. Even if you're competing against big companies, you can do this, because most people they barely try. And then if you do that, Google will give you most of the good quality traffic in your niche and for rock bottom prices, and you can make money from it. And even if you don't have any more than like $1,000 to invest into ads, you can start really, really small with ads and use that to then double your money and then reinvest into more ad spend and then just keep building yourself up. So there's no reason for anybody to not want to run Google ads for their business. There are some niches where the Google ads doesn't make sense. They don't have the right type of leads that come from Google ads or whatnot, but for the most part, 95% of businesses, there's no reason why not to do that and not do that first, because it's literally easier to figure out how to make a working ad with Google ads than it is to try to rank a site with no traffic going to it. So anyway, with that disclaimer there, here is the ChatGPT strategy we're using that works extremely well for sites that do have some traffic going to it already. You don't need to be the most authoritative site in your space, but if you have traffic going to your site, this will work. And the more traffic you have going to your site before starting this, the better and faster it will work. Okay? So what you do, the way that we're doing it to rank blog posts from our blog using ChatGPT, once you get your Google Ads working, you go into your search terms report on your Google Ads account. Find the long tail keywords that are turning into customers. Long tail meaning, again, people making very specific searches. So if you're targeting people that are looking for water skis, you'll find terms like water skis for sale now. And nobody will be targeting that full phrase, but you'll find that term brings in customers because it's so specific, and just through the process of advertising. And you can do this with, even if you're running a PMAX campaign, they give you this data. Well, anyway, that's your term that you try to rank using this blogging ChatGPT strategy. You take that term, you go to ChatGPT, You create blog post about, and then insert that converting phrase that brought you a customer through Google Ads. Then they slam, in 2 seconds they slam out a post. You don't have to do what other people I see on YouTube telling you, where you have to have ChatGPT rewrite the post how many times so that it fools Google. Again, like I said at the start of the video, Google doesn't give a shit as long as the post performs well with the on-site metrics. But anyway, you have that post and then you post it to Google. Now, each mention of that keyword that you're supposed to be targeting with that blog post, you're going to have a hyperlink to the most relevant product or service on your site, the money pages, if you will, where you want people to ultimately end up on. So that the people who read that article, they get as many of them as you can, get directed to that site, but more importantly also, that page that you're linking to also starts ranking better and is more competitive because you have an interlinking strategy on your site. But a blog post isn't going to convert the trickle of traffic you get by now ranking on the first page for this very specific term in and itself. So what you're going to do is change your blog template so that the very top, let's say this is your blog right here, right? The very top of your blog should have a picture of your product or talk about your service. So people have to scroll through that mention of your product or service, your flagship product or service, to get down to the blog content. Okay? So basically every single person who gets to the page has to at least consider what you're offering, and then on that top of the page you should have a link to your product and or service, again, whatever one's mentioned or talked about in the top part of that page. And a certain percentage, around 10% or so, will just go to the product or service because now, they're like, oh, that's interesting, I'll go there instead of reading the article. So they weren't intending on going there, but because they saw it there, they will go there. And on top of that, I'll have something on the sidebar that I call a floating sidebar. A lot of people call it that, but you go on my blog. I don't do ChatGPT blogging on our agency's site, but if you go to guaranteeppc.com/blog, you'll see a floating sidebar. So as you're scrolling down the blog post, there's always a call to action there mentioning are you interested in guaranteed PPC results? No pay before you get results. Click here. Anyway, that scrolls as you scroll down the blog post, and then at the very bottom of the post content, you have another call to action asking them to buy or go to the product page or service page to buy. And so basically, they're just, regardless of where they are on this page, on top of it, while they're reading it, they're going to be, there's no way they can miss your pitch for them. So really it's just driving traffic to get eyeballs on your pitch. Some people will be interested, some won't. But of course, the more free traffic you get to drive to these pages, the more money you're going to make, the more spin-off traffic you're going to be able to generate. So that is how you format the post. So it's how you format your blog heavily affects how much money you're going to make once you've ranked for these terms, once you got your ChatGPT blog post ranked for these terms. But the magic with all this is understanding which terms generate sales or profitable traffic that have traffic and that nobody else knows to optimize for. Because on Google's keyword tool, the SEO people are going to try to rank terms that have a lot of traffic. You're not going to do that. You're going to rank terms that you know through running your ads generate customers and convert at a very high rate, but doesn't necessarily on the Google keyword tool even say that gets that many searches. Or maybe it says it gets 10 or 20 searches a month. For the average SEO, they're going to say, well, we're not going to try to go for that term because it doesn't have that many visits. But you are, because you know what little visits it does bring in. It brings in customers, and it's not competitive. And the fact that you can churn out hundreds of blog posts for basically no money, you can go after each individual term that generates a sale for you on Google Ads and try to rank on the first page organically for each term, because it takes you 15 minutes to create a blog post targeting that term. And then literally speaking, you're going to want to do like one blog post a day, targeting a new term that was something that people typed in before they bought or turned into a lead from your Google Ads campaign. Now, in addition to that, this ChatGPT content's still not that great. If I were to give it a 1 out of 10 in terms of the quality and like how well it's able to convert users into a customer on your site, it's like a 3 out of 10, with 10 being the best. What you want to do when a blog post ranks on the first page is invest in having a professional writer rewrite that blog post itself. For the most part, it'll stay ranked even though you rewrite the entire blog post. Sometimes not, but for the most part, why you want to do this? Because once you're on the first page, a lot of people don't understand this. If you can get ranked number 10 for that term that you're trying to rank, that converted, generated a customer through Google Ads, if the time on site that you get from that is high, Google will put you up, and not only just high, but higher than the 9th ranking person for that term. Google will eventually put you at number 9, and then they'll split test you between number 9 and number 8 to see if you should really be at number 8. And you can literally climb your way all the way to the top, to the number 1 ranking, just by having better on-site metrics and click-through rates to go along with it than your competition that ranks above you for that term. So once you get on the first page, sometimes you'll get there, sometimes you're not, but when you put the post there, it'll seem random why some terms rank on the first page right away and some don't. For the ones that do, you're going to invest a little bit of money on that because you want to get the most you can out of it, and more importantly, you want to climb up the ranks. So that's specifically what you do. So run your Google campaign, terms that convert, you create a ChatGPT post for on your blog, pages that rank on the first page right away when you post it. You upgrade the content a little bit, and then you eventually rank number 1 because you have really good content on that page. But even if you don't rewrite the content, for a lot of niches, you'll still, basically rank well, and it'll bring in a trickle of traffic. Respectively, the rest of the design of the page, even though the blog writing that ChatGPT does is basically pretty shitty. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's not that interesting. Even though that content's not great, because if you have the blog design be fucking amazing on just in general, with the top part of your page being good, your call to action that you're offering on the sidebar and the bottom of the page is so good, that will make up for a shitty blog post writing. Why? Because it'll just distract people and go to other parts of your site. So you can compete with all the other people that rank above you on Google, and you can end up doing really well and having your page rank, your post rise in the ranks anyway. Furthermore, if the offer that you have on the sidebar and the bottom of the page is something that other people normally don't offer, like at our agency, we offer guaranteed services. You don't pay for any PPC services until you get more sales and profit from your campaigns up front. Nobody else offers that. Nobody else has the balls to offer it. But guess what? For every visit our competitor will have to their site, or every 100 visitors they get, and they get 1 customer, I'll get 10 customers. So it'll convert 10 times the rate. Well, that gives you an edge that if you could think of something that's similarly 10 times better than what your competitor's typical offer is, that will keep a lot more people on the site once they see that. So, I know you may not be able to guarantee your services or whatever like I do, but you could do something as simple as say, guaranteed lowest rate. If we can't get you a lower rate, we'll give you a $50 Walmart gift card. And that can be the thing that gets them to stick on the page, have your traffic that ends up on your blog be sticky. And you just got to be non-emotional in figuring out what's the best offer you can make without being unprofitable. A lot of you guys think, well, if I offer this or that guarantee or this or whatever, people will take advantage of me and it won't work. That's what all your competitors are thinking. So if you're just the one with the balls to do it, you'll get 10 times more business than anybody else. Gift card thing, we did use that for a client I know that works. We did it in the mortgage broker space where they were selling mortgage refinancing. We can't get you the lowest rate, we'll give you a gift card. The average person's thinking, oh, I can't do that because if I'm not the lowest, I'm going to have to give a damn gift card out. Yeah, but you'll spend 10 times the cost of what you're spending now on marketing to get a client when you don't offer the gift card. So don't be so damn... People just hear and think that if they, by offering too much to their customers, they somehow are losing. You offer as much as you can where, yes, you don't lose money, but marketing costs a lot of money. Whatever you could do to get your marketing to work 10 times better, you do it, or you at least try to do it, and you just work through the math. Anyway, you get my point. What can you do to offer an offer there at the top of your page, side, bottom of your page, that as soon as people see that, they totally forget about the blog post, and they stay on the site anyway. So you can think of the ChatGPT content as a way to just cast a bunch of, real lines in the water, like you're fishing. Whatever brings in, people, they're going to get distracted and off to doing something else. And Google's algorithm isn't going to notice any difference. As long as they get to your page and they stay, that's all they care for. So the content just gives the algorithm something to see that you should be ranked for that term, because it has the keyword you're trying to rank for like 5 times on the page, and then the other stuff on the page is what gets them to stay. And like I said before, I mean, for the most part, if you're targeting 4 or 5 word terms, or even 3 word terms that convert from your Google Ads campaigns, in your ChatGPT blogging strategy, your SEO strategy, you're not going to have any competition for those terms. However, if you are in a niche where those terms are too competitive, like I said before, target terms that are informational terms. How much is? Price is for. These are terms where people are close to making a purchase, but not quite there, and the likelihood that they're going to be buying from somebody in your space in the near future is like 1 in 10 or 10%. You could monetize that traffic. Just do a similar thing. Get them to the page. Talk about pricing in your industry, and then from the call to action there, have something that says, download industry price guide or what have you. And nobody says that the blog template that you have to drive traffic, on your blog, that has to be the same call to action or offer on each page. You can easily have it to where any pages that talk about pricing or cost or anything has this offer with this offer from price guide on it. The ChatGPT content is just filler content for the algorithm, and then the offer of the price guide at the top, middle, and bottom of your page is what gets them to convert into gets them to stay, so it pleases the algorithm, but gets them to turn into a lead. And obviously, if you get 50 people to download a price guide, that 10% of which are going to be a customer of somebody's in the near future, and you go ahead and you take the price guide thing and you email them afterwards with an email sequence that's written well, you can monetize that traffic. Or you can ask for their phone number, get 3 times less submissions for your price guide, but a good phone salesperson could get that person to buy from you basically every time. Hey, thank you for downloading the guide. Just wondering if you have any questions, and then answer the questions. And then once you've got, they ask questions, and you can answer them, you got them basically. So anyway, that's the system, right then and there. That's how you have to do it. Yes, it's not as simple as churning out the blog content with and that's it. But this is the strategy I use. Of course, you might be able to come up with your own thing yourself, but understanding what Google's objective is, not what SEO people tell you, but what Google's objective is, which is to find content that'll keep people on the site, and that people like to see from Google. This is the best way to spend crap into gold, essentially. With crap being ChatGPT content, but having it surrounded by gold so that they stay on the page and you make money from it. So that's pretty much everything. If you liked video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a ton of content about this channel, or on this channel, about how to make money with online advertising and things like landing pages and so forth. So I just talked about ChatGPT today, but if you want to make millions of dollars running ads for your business as well, this is what this channel is about. And it's coming from somebody who does ad strategy all day long for dozens of clients and been doing it for the last 15 years. So as far as quality of information, you're not going to find better information on that particular topic than you can find on this channel. I do mean that. If you like the channel, by the way, you can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, as well as follow me on entrepreneur.com, as I have a column that I write there as well. If you have any questions about anything I talked about here today, or any marketing related question, feel free to leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple of days' time. If you are looking for an ad manager to help you make millions with your ads for your business, put something together that can work on Google like I was talking about before, or Facebook, or what have you, reach out to me at my agency. I'd be happy to give you a free analysis of what the opportunities are with your current ads or ads you'd like to run in the future. And if there's a fit there, like I mentioned before, we do not charge fees to our clients before you get an increase in profit from your campaigns, or when your campaign, or until your campaigns start making money, if you will. So, but we don't work with just any client, but I'd be happy to see if we can work together, and if there's something we know we can get results with. So, the only way you would know if we can work together is, of course, reach out. I really look forward to speaking with you on the opportunity that is there. That said, also, if you aren't looking for an ad agency or somebody to just run ads for you, we also sell. We have a new business where we're selling ad templates. If we've worked in a market before, and that you're in that market, it would make no sense to try to set up your own ads. We've got ad templates that work for your market already, that already get proven results, of which we could tell you what the results we've gotten in your market, and that you would get with the ad templates we can sell you, that you basically just copy and paste into your account on Google, Facebook, and so forth. As long as there's no conflict of interest, you're not competing directly with a client that we have right now in the same geographic market, you can use the templates to right away make money. And we literally do provide you the ads, the landing pages, all of it that you need to get results, and can copy and paste those same results into your own ad accounts. It's and it's not any more complicated than that. Even if we haven't worked in your market, we're selling these templates for people that want to start businesses in other areas, whether they're lead generation businesses, whether they're working with a partner and having them do the operational side of the business, and they have a site with our templates attached to it and making money that way. We've got several people doing that already, which is why I bring it up, and that shows how good these templates are. That is, just by having the templates that I provide, it's a business in and itself, that you could have leads coming in so cheap and in such numbers that you could have somebody else doing the work and still make money. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm. I'll let you know what markets we have results in and what the results are. GuaranteedPPC.com if you're interested in that. I'll close it out though with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.